Hello, my name is David Ades. I'm a certified professional life coach, just like everyone and their dog nowadays. I would say everyone and their mom, but turns out they're getting the dog certified as well. Don't ask me, weird times, only getting weirder, only growing more narcissistic. Which poses a question for the survivor of narcissistic abuse. How am I supposed to extricate myself, free myself from the venom of the narcissist when narcissism, more and more, is all around me? Not only how is it possible to free oneself from narcissism when narcissism continues penetrating more and more facets of human civilization, but is it even worth it to make oneself whole and go through the trouble, which is what this video is about, the pain of, the focus of my channel, of recovering from narcissistic abuse? Is it worth it to go through the pain to make oneself whole in a world that might not be worth making oneself whole for? To paraphrase the psychologist Erik Erikson, one of the motivating factors for the individual on their journey to maturity and self-actualization and individuation, becoming the individual that they are and are meant to be, one of the motivating factors is that the world is worth the trouble, that the world is worth the sacrifice, that the world is worth the periods of aloneness. The world is worth the self-analysis. The world is worth the vulnerability. The world is worth the trek through the desert of liberation and enlightenment and healing and growth and recovery. So, fortunately for survivors of narcissistic abuse, narcissistic abuse compels the individual to humble themselves through the floor. And the only way that a sick world would be viewed through the lens of, yes, it's worth making myself whole for, is through humility. Only somebody who humbles themselves below the sickness of the world would be able to say, yes, the world is worth making myself whole for. And this is the case for the narcissistic abuse in general. Whatever the narcissist has left you with, that venom, that ill, that evil, that dis-ease. Did I say venom already? It's worth 2 mentions. It's venom, it's venom, it's venom. It's a virus. The only way of getting out of it, letting it wash off of your bones, is by humbling yourself through the floor, let's say, through what feels like the floor. It's like, geez, I have to humble myself more in regards to this stuff that I've humbled myself a lot in regards to already. Right? I thought I was done with the shame. I thought I was done with the guilt. I thought I was done with this stuff. The only way is to humble yourself through the floor, humble yourself below kind of the low bar that the narcissist set. It's like the narcissist is so evil, they set the bar so low on being human, that the only way to get below that level, in a healthy way anyway, is humility. You have to humble yourself so that the venom, the virus, your humility is like an antidote to that. Imagine that humility is like an antidote to evil, which that's a very fine way of putting it. You have to humble yourself in relation to the venom that the narcissist has left you with. And that's what this video is about. This video is about why it must be so painful to shed, to burn away the muck that the narcissist infects, that they vomit muck onto your needs and your desire and your body and your mind and your everything that is you about your life. The narcissist gets their fangs into it, the evil spreads, the pain spreads, until it is too painful for you to be you. You no longer like having needs because they're associated with so much pain. The narcissist abused your needs until you say, ouch, my needs, they hurt so much. Go away, needs. The narcissist abuses your desire. The narcissist abuses your mind. The narcissist abuses everything about you until everything about you, you can't stand it anymore. You don't want to be reminded of everything about you, which means you can't interact with reality. Because reality causes friction. You have to avoid reality because the friction inherent to interacting with reality, including other people, are pieces of reality. The friction inherent to navigating reality, interfacing with reality, the friction ignites the source of your pain. The source of pain is your needs. The source of pain is your body. The narcissist turned you against yourself. The narcissist turned you into a source of pain unto yourself. The only way out of this is by creating a false self, which you can kind of consider to be the narcissist's goal all along, was to create you in their image. You might consider that a narcissist, him or herself, is a source of pain unto him or herself. The narcissist is, The narcissist is rejected from reality. It is so painful. They can't be. They cannot exist. They are forever free-falling in the abyssal pain of their own lack of soul. Which is why they're always looking for supply from other people. Imagine a narcissist is like somebody who's made out of mud, and they're constantly kind of melting. The mud is constantly, and this is painful for them. They're going to say, oh my God, if I don't collect more supply, if I'm not constantly putting mud on myself, I'm going to fall apart. That's what the narcissist is. This appearing to be real creature that's actually a pile of mud, constantly trying to keep itself alive through narcissistic supply, which is mud in the metaphor. So no wonder relationships with narcissists are so muddy. You get so muddy. They muddy the water of you. The river that a human being is, they muddy the river of the human being that they get close to. They can't help it. They can't help. They are a human being that's been muddied. It's been muddied. That's it. They're a river of mud. And when you get close to them, the river of you gets close to them, boom, what do you think's going to happen? River of mud comes into you. It's an avalanche. It's a landslide of mud. There's nothing you can do. You can't say, well, what if I get close to them and the clean water gets on there? It's not going to happen. Might look like it's going to happen, but isn't it the case that no matter how much you sacrifice for the narcissist, no matter how much good you do for them, no matter how much this you do for them, no matter how much you frustrate them, it amounts to nothing. It amounts to nothing because there's no one there. They're completely unavailable, unto themselves included. They might not feel this way. It might not appear this way on the surface, but I can almost say, or I would like to say, if you're watching this video, you probably know what I'm talking about. But it actually is the case that they're just unavailable. Quite an uncanny experience. You've never met a human so unavailable, so thoroughly unavailable, while appearing to be available. It's kind of the confusing part about it, or so deceitful parts about it, and sometimes so effective, because they can seem like, hey, come here, I'm available, and then as soon as, what was that, not an Elmer voice, like a Muppet voice. And as soon as you lean into them, you fall into mud. It's like they pull the rug out from under your feet, aka you just fall into a river of mud. And then you say, oh, why did you do this to me? Or you blame yourself, oh, why did I fall for it again? That one you can take account for. Don't fall for it again. But the first one you can't. Why did you do this to me? They aren't doing anything. They're a river of mud being a river of mud, and you can't blame them for that. You have to come to see them as just a river, just like any other human being, but mud that you don't want to get involved with. But this is a lesson in acceptance at large. Everyone is just a river. It's not the grandest river ever. It's not the worst river ever. It's just another river. And so are you. And so this is in the vein of the narcissist compels you to humble yourself kind of through the floor. You're just a river for a limited time flowing on earth, let's say. The narcissist is just a river of mud for a limited time flowing on earth. And you were kind of unfortunate enough to find yourself, falling into that river or trying to help that river or whatever. So, the narcissist gets their fangs into what is you about you, and you've got to burn it off. It's like the narcissist leaves emotional fat stores on you. And just like physical fat stores, in order to actually get to them, you need to lower your carbohydrate intake, you need to do more exercise. In other words, you have to go rather out of your comfort zone if you really want to get to those stubborn fat stores. So it is with the emotional fat stores. Don't quote me on this. Coach David came up with emotional fat stores. So too it is with the emotional fat stores of whatever the narcissist left you with. The emotional fat stores of shame, the emotional fat stores of guilt, the emotional fat stores of... You're going to have to go out of your comfort zone, and you're going to feel those fat stores burning up. And what that feels like is pain. And this is why it has to be painful to recover from narcissistic abuse, because in order to close the gap between you and your muddied needs, so to speak, right? The narcissist got their venom into your needs, and now it's mud, and it's painful, or it's scary, or you're ashamed of it, or it's humiliating, or it was rejected so much, or doesn't feel worth it. In order to close the gap between you and your needs, you're going to need to process all of the hostility that the narcissist left your need soaked in. The narcissist soaks you in hostility. It's like they take your face off and then drown the rest of you in hostility, and then recovering from narcissistic abuse is like you're this face on this person that you don't recognize anymore, that they're just full of pain. Well, the pain is going to need to be felt through. The pain needs to be burnt off, exfoliated, worked out, and that is maybe less of an active thing than you might imagine. It's not some you have to go here and there and do some ritual and some this and some that and get involved in some grandiose thing that's going to help you get through all the pain. There might be some things, there might be some rituals, there might be some things that you can practice, tap into, give it a try, and it might help you get more in touch with the pain. Which is what needs to happen. Not just get rid of the pain, you need to get in touch with it, and then by getting in touch with it, it's allowed to go. If you can get to it, it will go, and you'll feel it. You'll feel it go. Throughout your daily, weekly life, moments that bring up shame. Maybe moments where your needs make themselves met. Compulsive behaviors that you may use to distract you from the pain. In your daily and weekly life, there are, opportunities aplenty of where the venom makes itself known, because it's in regards to what is real about you. Your needs, your desire, your mind, your body, your imagination, your creativity, your spontaneity, or however those things are inhibited, because when they're prompted to make themselves known, they first kind of let you know that they're coming by the shame, by the guilt. It's like if the top is covered by shame and guilt, as it rises to the surface, the first thing that comes out is shame or guilt. And you have to stomach that, which looks like just make more time for yourself to hurt. Imagine that just like walking and running and swimming, hurting is an activity. It's like, hey, I'm hurting right now. Don't know why I said it like that. Can I have some time? Yourself is waiting for you to say that to yourself. Hey, we're hurting. Let's take some time to just hurt. I'm going to open my journal and just be with myself in this painful moment. Right? When I feel shame, I'm not going to spiral into it, nor am I going to cover it up as soon as possible. I'm going to try to be as present for this pain in me as I can. I'm going to cut back on compulsive behaviors purposefully so that the pain at the root of the compulsive behavior shows itself. Then I'm going to journal about that, or I'm going to talk to somebody about it, or I'm going to let it struggle in me and let me struggle with it. I need to make room. I need space. In your daily, weekly life, there are opportunities aplenty, just as you live, to whip out your phone, your notes, the notes on your phone, whip out a journal, and catch yourself in a moment where it feels like the fear is coming up, the shame's coming up, or whatever it is. There are moments aplenty throughout your daily, weekly life where you can go a little slower with yourself and try to purposefully tune in, maybe especially when it seems like pain or fear or some compulsion is coming up. There are times aplenty in your daily, weekly life to cut back on compulsive behaviors purposely to see what lies at the root of them. This is a psychoanalytic technique called privation. You purposefully don't engage in what appears to be a compulsive behavior, so it has to come out and show you what it really is, because you're not satisfying it so easily. It comes and it gets stronger, and you say, oh, that's what it is, and that's why I feel like doing that. You need an opportunity to struggle with yourself. You need to give yourself the opportunity to struggle with you, which is exactly, I can put it in this way, exactly what the narcissist needed to repress about you the most. The narcissist needed to rid you of your willingness and ability to struggle with yourself. The main reason people end up in relationships with narcissists is they ignore red flags. In other words, they refuse to let themselves struggle with them. Yourself says, hey, red flag, and you refuse to enter that struggle. And you say, no, it doesn't matter. Or, oh, and maybe it's me, or, you're making it up, me. And then the narcissist doubles down on that. The narcissist doubles down on your unwillingness or inability to struggle with yourself or let yourself struggle. They remove your own fight from yourself. You're left with no fight. And you've got to open the space for that. So, on top of taking a closer look at your current daily and weekly life, and maybe look for ways in which you might struggle with yourself a little bit more for the betterment of yourself, or ways that you might let yourself struggle with you for the betterment of you, you might also find something that you can do that will prompt you to, if not struggle with yourself, then just open up. You can just practice going to like a public place where the vibe is very casual, and you just have to relax. And maybe that will bring up anxiety, so that's a little opportunity to see what's going on in you. You can schedule a coaching call where you'll be asked to kind of come forth, and maybe that will represent a struggle for you. I think that everybody is looking for a way up the self-actualization ladder without struggle. How do I get there sooner? How do I get there faster? I just saw an advertisement for hypnosis, and the advertisement advertised hypnosis with the tone of, you can skip the struggle if you get this hypnosis with me, or whatever company it was. Everybody's looking for that, and that temptation to not have to struggle may appear much more strongly in the victim of narcissistic abuse, the survivor of narcissistic abuse, because of the degree of pain, because of the longitude, the length of the pain. The trek through the desert of recovering is so long. You need so much time. You need so much space for yourself. You need to humble yourself so much more than you thought you knew you'd ever have to, and you knew it would ever be possible, and it has to go lower. You have to go lower and lower and lower, and that looks like humbling yourself in regards to yourself looks like, okay, I don't want to take time for myself right now, but it might be a good idea. I don't want to struggle in my head about this right now. It might be a good idea. I'm feeling crazy or ashamed of myself or guilty, and so this is so annoying and frustrating, and can't I get it over with? And then you need to show up for yourself in those moments. Of course, it's precisely in those moments where it matters the most that you show up. The narcissistic abuse begins and ends with self-abandonment. The theme is self-abandonment, and you've got to say, I'm not going to do that anymore. Hey, self, what can I do for you? Hey, needs, what can I do for you? Hey, desire, oh, I see you there. Hey, mind, hey, body, oh, I'm there for you. How can I engage you in a way that feels good for you? How can I honor you? What can I do that challenges us a little bit, but it's a calculated risk so it's not overwhelming? And that's the direction to move in. If you want my help personally, click the first link in the description below to book a call with me. You can click the second link in the description to take a free narcissistic abuse recovery quiz. Like this video if you do like it, comment your thoughts down below. Let me know if you have any questions. Subscribe if you want to see more. And of course, you can read about my coaching on coachdavidades.com. But the first two links will take you to my website anyway. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.